Welcome to C.S. Lewis Wisdom. Have you ever wondered why, despite your kindness, people don't seem to respect you? You go out of your way to help others, always offering support when needed. Yet instead of appreciation, you often feel overlooked, unvalued, or even taken advantage of. It's frustrating, isn't it? From a young age, we're taught that kindness is a virtue, that being good to others will bring goodness back to us. And while kindness is indeed one of the most beautiful qualities a person can have, the harsh truth is, it doesn't automatically command respect. In fact, when kindness is excessive, unbalanced, or misplaced, it can have the opposite effect. People might not see it as a virtue. Instead, they may interpret it as a weakness. Why does this happen? Because the world doesn't operate on simple, straightforward principles. It functions on psychology, on social dynamics, on patterns of human behavior that often go unnoticed. The truth is, people don't respect you just because you're nice. They respect confidence. They respect strength. They respect individuals who set boundaries, who assert themselves, and who value their own time and energy. So why does kindness, when not paired with self-respect and boundaries, often lead to a lack of respect? Today we're going to dive deep into this paradox. By the end of this discussion, you'll have a completely new perspective on how to be kind while also commanding the respect you deserve. We'll explore the psychological principles behind this phenomenon, break down real-life scenarios, and most importantly, uncover powerful strategies to balance kindness with self-worth. This is not about becoming unkind or selfish. It's about understanding human nature and ensuring that your kindness is seen as a strength rather than something to be taken for granted. Let's begin. Why excessive kindness backfires, the psychological truth. Imagine someone in your workplace or social circle who is always available to help. Need an extra shift covered? They'll do it. Need a ride home? No problem. Need to borrow money? They'll lend it, even if it puts them in a tough spot. Now consider how people start treating this person over time. Do they admire them more for their generosity? Do they respect them? Or do they start assuming that this person will always be there? No questions asked? The harsh reality is this: the more freely you give, the less people value what you give. This isn't because people are inherently ungrateful. It's simply how human psychology works. We tend to appreciate things that require effort to obtain. But when something is always available, it's taken for granted. This applies to material things, opportunities, and even human relationships. When you never say no, when you never set boundaries, when you make yourself perpetually available, you send a silent message. My time, my effort, and even my presence are not particularly valuable. Now think about the people in your life whom you truly respect. What qualities do they have? Do they say yes to everything? Do they let people walk all over them? Probably not. Instead, they have a strong sense of self. They help others, but not at their own expense. They are kind, but they also command respect. So why do so many kind-hearted people struggle to find this balance? Because many of us are conditioned to believe that being nice is the key to making friends, earning opportunities, and being liked. And while kindness does help build connections, respect requires something more. It requires strength. It requires self-respect first. It requires knowing your worth and ensuring that others recognize it too. If you've ever felt like your kindness isn't earning you the respect you deserve, it's time to take a step back and reassess. The goal isn't to stop being kind. It's to be kind in a way that also commands respect. And that starts with understanding the 5 key reasons why excessive kindness often backfires. Reason 1, people take you for granted. Have you ever noticed that the more you do for others, the less they seem to appreciate it? You go out of your way to help, always being there when someone needs you. Yet instead of gratitude, you're met with indifference. Or worse, people start expecting your kindness as if it's their right, rather than something you are choosing to give. This happens because when something is always available, people stop valuing it. Think about it like this. If you have access to clean water every day, you don't think twice about it. But if you were stranded in a desert, every single drop of water would feel precious. The same principle applies to kindness. When it's rare, people appreciate it. But when it's always there, they take it for granted. The solution? Set boundaries. Make sure your kindness is intentional, not automatic. Give because you choose to, not because you feel obligated. That way, when you do extend kindness, it is truly valued, not just expected. Reason two, you come across as weak. This may sound harsh, but here's the reality. If you're overly kind without setting boundaries, some people won't see it as compassion. They'll see it as weakness. Society often associates kindness with softness. And while kindness is a strength, if it's not paired with self-respect, it can make you appear as someone who lacks confidence. People respect those who stand up for themselves, who voice their opinions, and who aren't afraid to set limits. If you're always agreeable, always accommodating, and never push back, others might subconsciously assume that you lack inner strength. They may not intentionally disrespect you, but they also won't view you as someone whose presence demands attention and appreciation. The key to being kind and respected? Assertiveness. Assertiveness means standing up for yourself without aggression. It means saying no when necessary, without guilt. It means expressing your thoughts and feelings openly and honestly. When you respect yourself, others will respect you too. Reason three, manipulative people will take advantage of you. Many people assume that being kind will attract good-hearted individuals. But the unfortunate truth is, excessive kindness can actually attract manipulative people. When you're always willing to help, always saying yes and never setting firm boundaries, you become an easy target for those who seek to take advantage. Manipulators look for people who are overly accommodating because they know they can push their limits without resistance. They will use guilt, emotional pressure, or even flattery to get what they want, without giving anything in return. The best way to protect yourself? Set clear boundaries. If someone only values you for what you can do for them, they do not truly respect you. Final thoughts: being kind does not mean being a doormat. True kindness involves discernment, knowing when to give and when to step back. And here's what will happen when you start setting boundaries. The people who genuinely appreciate you will stay, and those who were only there for their own benefit, they'll drift away. And that's a good thing. Respect is not given freely, it is earned. Kindness, when balanced with strength, self-respect, and boundaries, is the key to gaining not only appreciation, but also true respect from those around you. So ask yourself, are you being kind in a way that commands respect? If not, it's time to change that. Let's continue this journey of growth together. Subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments, and let's build a community of strength, wisdom, and true kindness.